Hello, everybody. So, as you can already tell, I am no longer up this high. I am now down here, and as you can see as well, I have a better quality camera. No, I didn't get me a smaller monitor for my desktop. I made a video, but I haven't posted it yet. I got me a laptop. And, today I'm going to talk about not necessarily this laptop a lot, but about what you should not look for in a laptop. Now, out of the way. Now this doesn't have anything that I'm not looking for, which is nice. So yeah, let's make sure I said that correctly. Okay, so here's what you don't want to look for. If you minimize the screen, and let's type in Intel Gemini Lake. So Intel makes like the best processors in the world. Now, unfortunately, they've been in financial debt or something along the lines of that. I don't know what it actually is, but it's not very fun, or hasn't been very fun for them. And so, AMD's been kind of beating them up with their 192 core processor that's over $500. No, it was like over 1,000. I don't know how much it was. Over 500 would be the Core i9 14th gen 97. I don't know what it was. 14900K something. I don't know. Two results. That is not correct. Go back out. Go. Alright, so we're going to go to this right here. Alright, so it's very important that when you look for a processor on a laptop, you look for a good quality processor. I cannot see if I think I'm out of the way. I think I'm fine. It's best to look for a processor that meets your standards and it can handle the work you put into it. And these 6 processors I have up on the screen are horrible. They are really badly rated. And I'm not sure if y'all already know this. I don't think I've ever talked about this before, but I am heavily against Intel Celerons. I don't care if they're the good ones or the bad ones. I hate Intel Celerons. Now, I'm not really necessarily against the Pentiums, except for these two. So if I get a computer with an Intel Pentium, I expect it to not be any of these two. So we can only hope. And unfortunately, all the crappy school Chromebooks have the Intel Celeron N4000s with the 2 cores. I mean, all the ones that we have. So that really shows that they are pretty garbage. These are Gemini Lake processors, which means they have no security on them, and they are the most basic things you could ever buy. It shows that you're a poor person, and it shows that you it's gonna show when you really want to get to work. Like if you have more than 5 tabs on Chrome up, it's gonna want to break. It's gonna glitch out. It's gonna quit working. The first one is the worst one on this list, the Intel Celeron processor N4000. This is the worst processor of all of them. It has a turbocharged gigahertz frequency of 2.6 gigahertz, and the minimum is 1.10. And so Intel has all these security and all these embedded specifications, and unfortunately, or not specifications, features as I should be calling them, and unfortunately, this does not have the majority of them. So if we go down here, okay, it has some of them, but this is a very important one right here. Anti-theft. It does not have anti-theft. It does not have smart response technology. It does not have Optane memory. It does not support Optane memory. It does not have speed shift technology. It does not have turbo max boost. It does not have turbo boost technology. It does not have hyper-threading. And if you go up some more, it does not have it does not have an LIN wireless card, which is really strange because then how I don't know. It has all of the basics. It does not support ECC memory. In fact, all the processors I've ever seen on Intel don't support ECC memory, so I'll make an exception for this, but other than that, it's just ridiculous. It came out in 2017. Let's look at the product brief. It's not here anymore. Intel has not ever released their Gaudi yet. I have not seen them release their Gaudi accelerators. But yeah. So this one's pretty garbage. And yeah. Horrible. The junction though both these are 105 degrees Celsius. Basically the same thing, except not any different. This is the Celeron that appears to be worse, which doesn't make any sense to me, but it has 4 cores. This one has 4 cores. This one does not. It has 2. And then you have the Celeron J45, 4005, has only 2 cores, but has a higher gigahertz turbo than these do, or this one for some strange reason. And then you have these 2 with 4 cores, these 2 Pentiums, and they're just horrible. So if you ever come across, they are bad. I'll look at them with you again if you want to. I'll just go into this one. As you can see, they don't have anything, no embedded options, no UCC memory, no LAN, no. A couple of these yeses. Oh, there's a lot more yeses on this one than there were with the other ones. This doesn't have anti-theft though, so that's kind of a waste of time. No smart response. Garbage. Do not buy any of these. Do not buy a laptop with any of these processors. But actually, let's say compare all, and then I guess not compare all because it's not one to compare them. Okay. Let me show you some laptops real quickly. If you're looking for a laptop and you don't want to buy a Dell and you don't want to buy an HP, and I know HP is kind of garbage if you go for their Chromebooks, they are really cheaply made. Dell, depending on the spectrum you go for, it depends on the quality. I actually have a Dell Chromebook that belongs to my school, and the bezels on it are like 5 inches. So that tells you right away that the quality is horrible. I'm going to show you some. I want to show you some laptops real quickly that you may actually be interested in. We're going to start with the Starbook. The Star Labs Starbook. So if you don't know what Star Labs is, they are this actually is primarily people that want to have a Linux laptop that doesn't have or is not a Clevo based chassis or shell, as I should be saying, or skeleton, depending on how you want it. And it starts for the US $863. Why is there a markout of $899? I have no idea. But let's go. So let's go to the overview page here. Alright, so you can get it with 2 processors. Now I have to say this right now. If you are a developer and you want this laptop, do not go for the N200 processor. Now, Intel's processors nowadays, specifically this one right here, this Intel N200, they are pretty good. But this is still a very base model processor, which means it's going to have 4 cores, most likely. Yeah, it's going to. I'm saying something very stupid. It's going to have 4 cores. And they're going to have the smart technology. It'll have everything a regular would nowadays for base processors, but if you're a developer, especially if you want a dual boot, do not get it with the N200. Now, that is going to increase the price of this thing by double. This is currently $800. It starts at $863. And they're talking about how cool it is, all matte, no glare, cool 4K resolution display, all that coolness. Wow. Once you get it though, you're gonna find out that the quality of the plastic, it's not horrible. I've seen some reviews. It's not crappy plastic, but it's not very good plastic either. The trackpad is not made of glass. I don't think it is, at least. I could be wrong. It's got a pretty good screen, I think. It looks like. Yeah. Pretty interesting. Very nice. You can do up to 96 gigabytes of memory. If you have the N200, please do not do this. It has a 14-inch 4K IPS display, which is very good. Up to 14 hours battery life, that's really good. and 7 gigabytes or up to 7 gigabytes of SSD read speeds. So yeah. But they put the N200 like here, like it's a cool like they're making it look cool. Like, oh, you get 2 options. You get the very cool Intel N200 processor or the Ultra 7. And the Ultra 7 even sounds better, so obviously they go for this if they have more money. But this is if you don't have a whole lot of money in your budget. So if you're just doing some plain work and stuff, this is good for that. Yes, this has an Ultra 7 as an option, but even if you get it with that and you have this thing fully decked out, I don't recommend it for gaming. Because it's not really made for that. Also, let's go ahead and hit the configure button and let's go ahead and configure it, and I will give you all my insight. So, if you don't want to go for the Ultra 7, then get it in English US if you live in the United States. If you don't, then get it in whatever language you need to get it in. Obviously keep it. It can turbo boost up to 3.7 gigahertz, which is like better than the other ones that we found on Intel's site. The Gemini Lake, those are complete garbage. But yeah, as you can see, it is more than double the price of the laptop already to give it the Ultra 7. So yeah, it's not very ideal. Also, they don't know what operating system you're going to be using, and so instead of putting an Ubuntu logo key or a window, not a Windows logo key, but a rectangular window key with some things coming out of it on the side for a home key, they put a key that says Super. I don't know how to explain why that is the way it is, but it is. You have your FN. I'm not sure why it's blue or a different color, but it's not. Anyways, you get your base storage of 512 gigs. I think that's pretty good. I wouldn't go over that, or 1 terabyte actually, for if you have the N200, but I'm not the smartest person in the world. US plug, if you live in the US. Memory, you can go up to 32 for the N200. And I think it's a little much. I would not go more than 16 for this thing. So if you were to have it, you could put a 32 gigabyte in here, but I would not do that. I recommend you not. I would not go higher than 16 gigs if you're getting the Intel N200. But what about if you get it with the Ultra 7? Well, it will change all of this, and I'll show you in a minute. So, if you need a long cable, then get it with the 3.15 meter. And you have your optional accessories for your 12-port USB-C PD hub, which I don't recommend getting if you're getting it with the N200, because it will not be fast enough when projecting onto another display. It's very important that you keep that in mind. Unfortunately, it appears that they're out of stock on the USB-C to USB-A adapters, which I didn't know until just now. But if I were to get this laptop, here's what I'd do. I would get it with the Ultra 7 because I'm not going to be doing some baby schoolwork on this thing. I mean, I kind of would, but I have a crappy Chromebook for that. And also, I'm going to be dual booting with this thing if I ever get it, because if you ever get a Ubuntu laptop, it is going to be open source. Or not just Ubuntu. Any laptop that has Linux on it, like operating system, you have a whole bunch of options. You have a whole bunch of options. You get it with Windows, but it's a little expensive. You can get it with Zorn as well. I recommend getting it with Ubuntu, but if you get it with a Linux-based distro, it's open source. You'll be able to do whatever you want to it. When you get it with Windows, though, it's like hard lockdown. You would have to get sudo, which even then it isn't going to do much of anything. You can get the Linux distro command prompt on this thing, but I'm sure Microsoft has deemed to restrict some actions on it, so you wouldn't modify the program, which I guess makes sense, but also don't make sense. Anyways, get rid of that tab. So I would do regular Ubuntu. And as you can see, the minimum on this one is 32 gigs, not 8. And you can go up to 96, but I'm going to keep it at 32 because I think that's a little much. It just hit me. last time I checked, you can get this thing with 16 gigs at minimum. So I'm not sure if they're increasing the price on this and trying to hide it, or if they're not going to because the 16 gig is not available. Very strange. I'm looking at this one in the minute right here, the Starfighter. But yeah. So here's what that's what I would do. Get it with that. I guess keep it at the minimum still. As long as it's more than 8 gigs, so 16 is fine, and this is the minimum to do that. For accessories, if you're getting it with the Ultra 7, then I guess you should get the 12-port USB-C PD hub, but this isn't really a desktop replacement, nor is the laptop I'm using actually right now, or anything like that. So I actually kind of wouldn't get the 12-port USB-C hub because, first of all, it's black. Well, actually, no, it's bright. Never mind, I said that all wrong. So it wouldn't match the Starfighter. I'm about to show you, but I don't think it was really made for this laptop. You can even tell it's got quite a bit of bezel. Also, the camera is built in, which is nice. It's cool. It's everything. The camera lensing is built in. Here's your Ubuntu thing. I really hope it has the fossa as the background. I don't know why this is doing that, but you can see all of your options here. Here it is. Nice, glory, plastic. Not the cheapest thing, which is nice. So you're getting some quality out of it. The bottom bezel is very big. The Microsoft I have right now, the bezel's not, it's kind of big, but it's also not that big either. But it's also glass to match in with the screen. This is going to have the plastic bezel like my crappy Chromebook does. But I don't think it'll be that crappy. I think it'll be fine. I don't know why it's highlighted. It's Manjaro. I don't really like Manjaro. What is that? Okay, I really just prefer Ubuntu because it's the simplest looking one. It's not too complicated to use, it looks like. That's Xubuntu, or the other one. That's Zorin. There's your Windows, which I wouldn't get for this because this is not really made for Windows. Especially the Starlight, which I'm not going to show you because it's actually a tablet. But when back when the Starlight first came out, it actually literally was an exact copy of a crappy Chromebook. And then they actually turned it into like an Apple-based tablet with a crappy keyboard. Not really a crappy keyboard, but a keyboard with a plastic trackpad. So you got something with it if you got the option. But it's better now. Back now, because when the Starlight first came out, it literally was a crappy Chromebook looking device. But now it's a tablet that you can get a keyboard for or with. Anyways, final price on this is $1,904. Wow. That's a little much. So actually, I would not get this with the Ultra 7. I actually recommend the Starfighter, and I'm going to show you it in a minute. This is not, no. Do not get this with the Ultra 7, because this is not made for anything you're going to be dealing with here. Yeah, okay? If you're going to do something that's more extreme, get the Starfighter, because it actually will end up being a little more expensive than this, but you'll have a better outcome, I promise you. You'll have a better quality laptop, because the Starfighter actually, for the longest time, ended up being their main focus, and that this actually, for the longest time, was called the Lab Top, before calling it the Starbuck. And back then, when this was the laptop, the Starlight was a crappy little Chromebook looking thing. And I know that because I saw a listing for one on eBay, and people are really wanting it for some strange reason. Anyways, don't get anything with it. Get the longest cable you can, because you don't know how long you're going to be charging for. Get a minimum of 8 gigs, or 16. I think that's actually just fine. 500 gigabytes of SSD storage at least. Ubuntu, which is what I highly recommend, but you can change it up if you want to. Not Windows, I don't think, because I don't recommend it. But anyways, that's it. I'll make a part 2 of this because my parents just got home, and I'll do a part 2 on Starfighter. Oh, I can pause it now. Actually, never mind. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so what is going on with the CPU? Sorry, y'all. It appears I guess my laptop has quit working because it's making a weird noise, and if you can already hear it, sounds like a helicopter. Not with fan, but something is fluttering around in there. and I'm frozen. I'm standing up right now, so unfortunately, you won't be able to see me for the rest of the video. Okay, so, I think I left off right here. I'm going to go and stop. Let's go ahead and go to the Starfighter. So the Starfighter is a little bit different. As you can see, if you were to compare these two, what the hell? If you were to compare these two laptops, they look very similar. Okay, so I'm not sure, I don't know if I already told you this. My laptop is the Microsoft Surface Laptop 7. Oh my god. Not 7. And I'll make a separate video on it later, about how good and how bad it is at the same time. And let me tell you, there is a lot of quirks about this thing. Okay, so here is the Starfighter right here. English US. Now, the Ryzen 7, it's just right there. I think, let's go out in the Starbook. The Intel Ultra 7 has 16 cores. The Ryzen 7 has 8 cores, so that's still pretty good. And then 14 cores with the Core i9. And then it's not the 14th gen, it's the 13th gen i9. But as you can see, it adds $229 to it. So it goes from 1,800 to 2,070. And then storage is 1 terabyte. Is it just me? Or was, no, storage was 512 gigabytes. It was an option. Holy crap. They took it away. Okay, so I guess that's now not an option, but oh. It was down here. This is automatically with it, so that explains everything and why that's a thing. Okay. Well, optional accessories, I would get this because this laptop was more made for it. But this is the Starfighter, and it has a detachable camera with it, which is nice. You put it in a compartment and then you touch the top of the thing. And it actually is like Microsoft quality and everything. It's a lot better. It's made of like, look at that. It's much better on quality and everything. It looks very, very pretty and nice. Also, these pictures appear to be updated. Oh yeah, these are. Some of these were I have not seen before. Anyways, what is going on with this computer? Okay. There's a switch on the side for a kill switch. This thing is really cool. It's much better. You get it with the Core i9 or Ryzen 7, all that stuff. Very nice, really cool. But that's it for today. That's all I want to talk about. I have a lot going on with this laptop right now. It's not letting me see myself. So I'll be back later with another video about this laptop I'm using right now. See y'all.